these days, especially when you look at a game they looked like losing against Manchester United last weekend and ended up getting a draw. Philippe Coutinho stamping his immediate authority on that one. Midfielder John McGinn didn't feature in that game, which is something of a sore point with John when I spoke to him just before we came on air. So watching from distance as Villa came back into it against United, I said to John, what was that like?
I'm not good at watching from the sides. I was still very bitter about how I missed the game, but that's for another day. I got booked for trying to take a quick free kick, but I suppose it's my own fault. 5 bookings gets you a ban, so I had to watch on. There was a lot of excitement around Villa Park, and I think it was important for us, especially after the way we started the game, to kind of stop what could have been a mini rot. It was 3 defeats in a row and it could have been 4, so brilliant character for the boys, and hopefully we can use the confidence from that second half performance to kick us on.
But you're still livid, John, about the background which led to you missing out.
Aye, I'm an angry man as it is. Ivan Toney done me a kipper, but fair play to him, it's part of the game. I was just trying to take a quick free kick. He was just trying to stop me, so managed to get involved and got myself booked. When the frustrating thing for me was I was 2 minutes away from the cards kind of refreshing to get to 10. So I had been good. I think I went 8 or 9 games without a booking. So the frustrating thing was it was just another 2 minutes to get through to clear. But one of these things, and one I'll learn from, I'm sure.
John, here's the thing: it's 4 games now without a win for Villa. And I suppose the important thing is you don't want to lose this momentum that you had when Gerrard first arrived.
Yeah, we were caught in a little bit of a tough run the past few games, and it would be very easy for the lads at 2-0 down against United to crumble. I think there was a lot of expectation now with a couple of exciting signings, but we've got to deal with that. We've got to make sure that starting Saturday, I mean, the games come thick and fast. The season kind of runs away from you if you don't take control of it. So what will be a very difficult game on Saturday, we need to try and take control of our own destiny and push this club up to where we feel that it belongs, and the quality of the dressing room believes that we're better than what we're showing at the minute. So it's up to us now. We've been working hard in training. We're ready to go to Goodison.
Steven Gerrard's got his feet under the desk a bit by now, John, you would think. What's your relationship like with him? I noticed he said in one interview, I love John McGinn, I love him. I mean, how do you feel about him?
I don't think the boys would let me say the exact same words or anything like that. No, he's been really good. I think I managed to meet him a couple of times just before he was appointed in different occasions up the road. Obviously, I wasn't wishing him or his staff well while he was up there, and we've had a wee bit of banter back and forth about that. But what he is a top class manager, very honest and very fair, and what we do have in common, we've obviously had very different paths in football, but what we both have in common is we both played in midfield, and we both want to win. So it's an easy relationship from there. I'm just trying to learn from him and Gary McAllister as well, two top midfielders, and trying to improve as a player. I've still got a lot to learn, and we're working closely together to try and get the best for the club and for myself.
It was interesting, John. Matt Targett the other day told me he was in awe of Steven Gerrard. He was pretty nervous about meeting him because of the reputation Gerrard had, of course, as a player. Were you something of the same?
It's a strange one. When John Terry was appointed as a coach, I was sort of more, at that time, just because I'd just come from Hibs, and I was used to seeing these guys on Premier League years and programmes like this. But I think you need to get the right balance of, that's who you're going to be working alongside, so you need to kind of forget it quite quickly. But it is amazing. I grew up watching players like John Terry, Steven Gerrard, Gary McAllister on a one-to-one basis, so there's obviously a bit of that. The careers they've had is incredible, and it's just, I'm the fortunate one. All of us in the dressing room were the fortunate ones to be able to learn off them.
But John, I'm doing you a favour now. If you want to play from the start this weekend, you should not be telling us that you were more in awe of Gerrard than you were of Terry.
No, I wasn't saying that. I was saying I was more prepared for the stature of the gaffer for when he came in. And I can call JT by his nickname. I'm not sure I could call the gaffer by his nickname.
It's a good point you make. And listen, on Coutinho, around the training ground this week, have you seen flashes of Brazilian brilliance?
Listen, he's a first-class player, world-class player. I think everyone knows that. It's our job as teammates to get him back happy. Again, playing his football and smiling. And what he is he's just a normal, hard-working guy. He's the same as everyone else in the dressing room. He doesn't see himself as better than us, above us. He's here to help us succeed, and just delighted for him to see him get a goal on his debut. And I'm sure, as much as I'm excited to play with him, I'm sure the Villa fans are excited to see him, and hopefully we can all work together and flourish.
You know something, John, with all these big names that you've reeled off there that are around the place at Villa at the moment, and you're one of them. I know I'm Scottish and I'm biased, but you're one of them. Say the Premier League for Villa would constitute success.
Well, it's a tough one because we've had a kind of indifferent season in terms of, we obviously changed manager through it. We've had a couple of spells where we've had good results, good performances. We've also been on bad runs. We went through one where we lost 5 in a row. We almost lost 4 in a row, and in the dressing room that hurts. We believe we deserve and we're capable of finishing higher, but we can probably talk a good game. We have been speaking about things, about challenging for European football and starting to compete higher up, but it's up to us now to do the talking. I mean, I think if the league finished tonight, we would be extremely disappointed with the position in the league. So it's our job starting Saturday with the games coming thick and fast to get into the top half of that table and then take it from there. I don't think we can get too greedy. That would be disrespectful to the rest of the league. We know how difficult this league is. So there's teams who are establishing themselves in European football year after year, and that certainly is the long-term aim for us.
Now you head to Goodison this weekend. Big Duncan, who I've known for many years, in charge of Everton, and he'll get them going, John. Are you well aware that you guys head there and you're going to come up against a very different Everton than you might have done if Benitez had still been there?
Oh yeah, so the atmosphere is going to be completely different. I think it would be naive to think anything other than that. We all watched the games where Duncan Ferguson was in charge before, full of enthusiasm, passion, energy, and I think a club like Everton, that's all the supporters want to see. So and it's up to us to stand up to that, puff our chests out and want it more, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to deal with all the noise outside. I'm sure a lot of people will be making a big deal about who's in the dugouts, but it's up to us to play with our heads and play with some class and go away with the 3 points.
John, finally, you came down here from Hibs. Many people said to me, watch McGinn go at Villa. Do you even pinch yourself, John, about how well you've done and the player you've become?
It's been strange. It's been it's probably been a rise where I didn't really expect, but I think you just take each day as it comes, try and improve. I've still got so much to learn, getting older right enough, so I don't have as much time as maybe some of the other lads, but it's been amazing. It's been a dream come true. I'm playing an amazing club, so just keep going, keep getting better and see where the rise takes me.
Good man. And the odd backward glance at Scotland, who will win it, Rangers or Celtic?
Celtic.
John McGinn, speaking there just before we came on air, about Villa, about Gerrard, about life under Gerrard, and of course, he loves the mighty Glasgow Celtic. Martin, Villa have got to start winning. No, there's been a little drop-off, and I suggested to John, look, when Gerrard arrived, the momentum was there for all to see. There's been a drop-off. You can't afford to have that.
No, but I do feel, though, it's a very exciting time right now to be an Aston Villa supporter. What I saw, Coutinho coming off the bench, Buendia now pulling the strings, Ramsey in midfield through the academy, really impressive.
Yeah.
Luca Digne coming in at left back makes them stronger. Cash is another one, catching the eye. Obviously had to go off, I think, to play for Poland. Didn't want to play for England because you understand that. But nonetheless, he's still a great talent. And then McGinn, who's probably Villa's most consistent player. He's 27 years of age. He's talking there about being pace of that team, that McGinn.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit tricky to work out the formation now. There's competition for paces. I'm just looking at, Watkins, Ings. Is it one of those rather than both of those? And does one of them have to drop out this weekend against Everton? And it's a game that Villa will feel they can win.
Yeah, well, with John back, they've got a chance. That is for sure. I've always liked Villa, not least because of the Scottish connection. Ken McNaught, Alan Evans from years ago. But we were talking the other day. Doug Ellis, wonderful man.
Yes,
a
I like
proper
Doug.
club, aren't they, Simon?
Yeah, no, I always thought when we played Aston Villa, whenever I got involved with Doug, he was very different from the deadly Doug image that you have.
Yeah.
Very tolerant of my nonsense, and always very accommodating.
What did you get up to?
I smoked a cigar in his boardroom and brought some people with me that possibly I shouldn't have brought at the time because I was involved with someone else. And Doug was like, "You've broken every other rule, so why don't you break those bloody rules as well?"
You weren't showing off, were you?
A little bit.
Oh, well, fair enough. Good old Doug, we liked him. Sadly,
Yeah, he
no
was.
longer with us. But Everton against Villa, Talksport exclusive, 12:30.